good evening, everyone. Welcome to episode 116 of New York Red Bulls Discussion Group, the podcast. Garry Redmond here at your service. Glad to meet you here. We got a pretty busy week for the New York Red Bulls. They got a game this Wednesday. That's Montreal, and the second end of that home and home series in New York City with over at Red Bull Arena. And then 3 days later, they take on, which is going to be a heavyweight fight. I mean, New York Red Bulls versus FC Cincinnati. Both games are going to be at the Cathedral, and of course, Nick Lianos will basically give you the breakdown of both matches. Gotham FC is not playing this weekend. They're going to be playing later on this month. But New York Red Bulls, of course, Orlando City 2 will be taking on, of course, on Sunday. But there was no game to be had. Plus, of course, naturally, all the hot takes and bold predictions, of course, from our live audience. And I see you guys logging in. It's always good to see you. And, of course, if you missed the live show, which is happening right now, you can always catch the recording on our YouTube channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Goals.tv and, of course, Spotify.com. All of our episodes are there for your listening and watching pleasure. And it's uploaded the very next day. And, of course, if you have any, we want to make this show one of the best ones out there. And this is where you guys come along, okay? Let us know how we're doing. Seriously, we do. We love that. We read all of, we got a lot of, questions, of course, about the show. And we can welcome any feedback, good or bad. Please shoot us an email at rbdgthepodcast@gmail.com. That's rbdgthepodcast@gmail.com. And, of course, we can't start the show without wishing a very happy birthday to our very own Mark Coates. Hope he's out there basically enjoying his day with all his friends and family. He has a day off, of course, today, but he will be back next week along with our special guest and, of course, along with Lanre Badmus. So, let's talk about what supposedly did not happen. Everyone was expecting a win on Colorado. We knew it was going to be a tough slide, and, of course, in that, in the up in Colorado, of course, with altitude and everything else, and it did pretty well. I mean, they did well in the first half, and in the second half, we're going to talk about that as the game goes along. But first, let me bring, of course, two of my wonderful co-hosts, the one and only Miguel Nunez, and, of course, because Carlos couldn't seem to make it yet again. Well, let's be serious. Work had caught up with him. So Nick steps in once again, in his triumphant return. And he's back and whatnot, but he will break down. But let's talk about the match itself, gentlemen. We knew it was going to be a tough slog, right? We knew going up, Colorado was playing at home pretty hot. Okay, they were basically unbeaten in 4. Red Bulls coming in unbeaten in 6, and something had to give. We all made our bold predictions, and at the match in particular. I'm going to start with you, Nick. Was it everything that you expected to happen, or no?
I was shocked when we first saw the lineup when we went to a back 3.
Right.
That came out of nowhere, and please, for the love of God, don't play that again. We looked bad with it because Noah looked bad with it. Reyes looked bad at it too. So I'm hoping that we don't play that again. The game itself was a good game. We had our usual stumble, scoring the goal. It's there. It's the problem. It's still there. We had a
touch.
We had a 10 to 15 minute complete meltdown. We just let them just run all over us, and then we regrouped and saw the game out. We still had our chances. Van Zier, when is it going to come? It's got to come someday.
He got an assist. He got in hockey. That's a point. I mean,
one thing. The big thing I came away with is Coronel is back. He looked real good. He's looked real good the last 2 games in that.
It was the Coronel and Stefan show, Miguel. Both, yeah.
That's what I came away with mostly. Coronel looks back to the 2022 year that he was solid. That's what I come away with for the last couple of games, more than anything.
Let me ask you this, Miguel. Let's focus on the goalkeeping. Mira was fantastic in his stead while Coronel was out doing his international duty. Coronel comes back and for the second straight match, he was basically back to a little back to his old self. Do you think this is going to help the team down the stretch run?
You know what? I can't probably I can't foresee that Coronel gets an injury, because he's been sort of an Iron Man, and then that Brian Mera breaks into the first team for a long stretch of time. I'm glad that Coronel is back. We talked a few weeks back about one of those games where Ryan Mera gave up like a free kick. I thought that Coronel, I thought that Coronel would have handled that better and he would have stopped that. But I'm just speculating. Okay. But I mean, in regards to the game itself, it's always tough going to Colorado because of the altitude. Okay. We can be on a winning streak and playing really well, and then we can go up there and then they'll just, they'll just fall apart because they can't breathe. Okay. So I think they did well. Our friend Omir Fernandez, he should have had a goal, but it's Omir Fernandez. Okay. So and then yeah. And then Van Zier, he was like 1-on-1 against the keeper, and he can't do what they're paying him to do.
I mean, my girlfriend was, how cold as ice she is when it comes to these things. She says, and I quote,
I agree.
No excuses. That was a goal. I mean, someone needs to grab that kid, and that's what she goes. Someone needs to, she didn't use the word kid. She used twerp. That was her word. Someone needs to grab that twerp by the collar and say, we need to work on your touch, because if there's one thing about Van Zier that I've seen, how he scores depends on his first touch. If his first touch is good, there's a good bet that ball's going in the back of the net. But so far, everything is fine except that. Good scorers need a good touch. And if your touch if your touch ain't good,
his touch wasn't good.
No,
Dylan's wasn't good because Dylan had an open net after the upper block, and ball came right to him, and then what, and then he crossed it to the back of the.
What is
this? That was a goal. That was 1-0. What are you doing there?
I mean, I see.
It was a great play. It was a great play for our goal. Van Zier lays it off nice. Lewis Morgan, and Morgan, he knows how to score. Okay, he's stuck it in.
You're never going to hear a bad touch when it comes to Lewis Morgan.
And then
you're not going to hear that. Which you will all see very shortly.
Yeah, we should have won 1-0. It was bad luck with that own goal. Okay, but it's the way it goes.
Hey, Colorado. Well, in the second half, Colorado was coming. We all knew this. It was like, okay, got a goal toward the end of the first half. But then I said to myself, and I said this on the thread, I said, this is nice, but let's see what happens when Colorado comes back flying in the second half. And all it took was a little bit of chaos, okay? The goal happened immediately after Fernandez's chance slammed after the post. And for some reason, and I couldn't, and I'm screaming this in my head, get the ball out. Get the ball out. Get the ball out. They didn't get the ball out. And,
Ricky had that ball. Ricky had that ball in the middle, and then he tried to pass it. I think he was trying to pass it to Ellie.
I don't know.
Turn around, send it out just turn around, send it, bro. Just get rid of it. Get it. Regroup, do something. But that was the bad idea. And after that, it was just the first shot from Fernandez went straight to Cornell, then the one off the post, and then they recycled it and went right back into our net.
Rosenberry, balled the ball in, and
they didn't deflect it. There was three
off Niels.
There was 3 Colorado guys right behind him to lay it in, so it was going in one way or the other.
speaking of that first goal, let's talk about. We talked about it. Now you guys will get a chance to see it. This basically happened in the 2 minutes into stoppage time, and of course, it was Lewis Morgan with an assist from Van Zier, and of course, I'll explain that.
Don't score now. Whereas central Cam Harper, who's now drifted over this left-hand side. Swapping roles with Morgan, has the overlap of Duncan. Gatsier, and Morgan! The late first half arrives off the boot of Lewis Morgan. What a strike. Slick as you like. And the Super Scot grabs his 10th of the season.
I don't care about possession. This is the run of play. New York Red Bulls have been the better team this first half. They had the better goal-scoring opportunities. That's a good little pass by Van Zier. And who else? Lewis Morgan. I was watching them warm up, New York Red Bull, before this game. Lewis Morgan was banging the ball in, and he does it here where it counts. The worst.
Microphone.
Lost you.
That bingo.
There you
Okay.
go. There you go.
All right, Shep Messing, of course, and I agree. It pretty much what we said, Nick, about the first half. I mean, the Red Bulls were the better team in the first half, and they had their chances. Obviously, I know some people saying it should have been 2-0, 3-0 because they definitely had their chances, but one goal, at that time the Red Bulls were up 1-0. Then came the second half where, for some reason, they had issues trying to clear the ball, in the back, and we never saw this coming. But I had this feeling that Colorado wasn't done. I mean, after all, a lot of the games that they won, guys, were in second half. So there was, this was saying in the thread, I was saying, hey, better watch out the first and second half. Let's see if they're able to, hold these goals off the bay. And if so, that's our 10th win. Unfortunately, the second goal came in, and this is how it happened.
Broke fortuitously for Colorado. Fernandez couldn't take his chance again. New York not out of the woods. Larraz plays Rosenberry out in front and pushed in. The equalizer arrives, and the Colorado Rapids have drawn level. Delight for the C-38, and the Rapids right back in it.
Absolute sigh of relief. Colorado knocking on the door. It's going to be an own goal. Believe it was Sean Nealis. Yeah, Sean Nealis. Doing everything he can to clear it out.
Yeah, there's definitely Sean Nealis, and the game ends 1-1. I mean, this is one of those things that, oops, sorry about that. This is one of those things where you say to yourself, okay, you're disappointed that it happened, but, one thing for certain, a point on the road is something that you can actually take, you take advantage of. Because Morgan, that was his 10th goal of the season, his 31st of his MLS career. He has scored 24 career goals in New York, which moves him in the sole possession of 9th place, gentlemen, in franchise history of most goals scored by a Red Bulls player. Now, with that 10th goal, Morgan recorded his second double-digit scoring season, which ranks tied for second in franchise history for the most of the double-digit scoring by a midfielder. Not too shabby, okay? That's something, So to say that Morgan is a very important focal point of the team's offense, that's great. But imagine where this team would be if Forsberg was healthy, if we had a true number 9, in front of those guys. And then, at this point, I'm about to let Van Zier go as far as, hoping that he'll be able to do things, because it's definitely in his head. Something is wrong. Something needs to change at this point. Morgan's doing it by himself, but he was able to get an assist tonight. Now Morgan has recorded 7 goal contributions late matches against Western Conference opponents. He's a dangerous guy. If you're a Western Conference team, he's the guy you want to keep an eye on. He's now tied for 5th in MLS goals scored by a midfielder with 10. Van Zier tallied his 8th assist. Okay. He's not scoring, but he's dishing. Okay. 8th assist of the season, which leads the club 9th of his MLS career. Ford now ranks tied for 6th in MLS for assists by a forward with 8. Not bad, okay? So if he's not scoring, he's dishing. I mean, does that impress you, Nick, or you need to see him score more goals, honestly?
We're paying him to score, but he's not. He's doing the little things. The scoring has to come. That's what they want from him. The little things are nice, but we need the goals. That's what we're paying you for. That's what you were brought in here for. You have to start producing. I said it. I thought he was going to have a good year this year, around 10 goals. To 12 goals this year.
We were all anticipating he was supposed to have a good year, but that hasn't happened so far.
He's done the assist part, which I thought it was going to be this high, but listen, I'm not going to crap on the guy for that. He is helping. He's just got to start shooting better. And the shooting drills, take him, take Manuel, take Emmanuel with you. Together, let's go. Bradley Wright, help these two along, please. Maybe one day be with Red Bull 2 to help them along. I don't know what to tell you at this point.
That's a good point, Nick. They have Bradley Wright Phillips there. Get him out in the field. Show these guys how to score. Okay.
Believe it or not, my girlfriend said, okay, if it's all about working on a trick of time stuff, of course you need him. You can't pull him off and put him in Red Bull 2. No. And no, first of all, it'll kill his, whatever confidence he has left. You can't do that. But I'm sure a lot of folks will probably say, yeah, why not? But there's a difference between you doing practice, doing layups, in the court, and trying to do a layup in front of with a defender draped all over you. I mean, it's a different beast altogether. But I agree with you, Nick. Get Bradley Wright Phillips in there, set him aside, and let's have a little bit of one-on-one sessions with him. Let's see your footwork. Let's work on let's work on your game and everything else, because I don't want to see what I don't want to see. I don't want to see Van Zier become the next Kamala. Remember him? Okay. The only thing is, the only difference between him and Kamala is that he's not pouting. He's not mad, and everything else. He's trying. If he's not going to get a goal, he's going to get you an assist, which means that he's out there doing all the things, that doesn't show up on the score, doesn't on score sheet, but he's doing it, right? He's pulling defenders away, he's basically attracting defenders and stuff like that, and leaving guys like either Manuel or Lewis Morgan open, to take those shots, okay? And I know folks are, well, we need him to score goals. Well, of course you want him to score goals. We're paying him $5 million. Yeah, I get that. You're paying him $5 million for him to score goals. But you know what I also see that a lot of people either don't see or don't want to see is that he's working out there. Now, if the goals start coming in, hey, maybe we're talking about an MVP bid. But for now, soccer is a very simple sport. If you're not scoring goals, you're not helping. But he is helping. I mean, Miguel, how do you tell the fan base how do you convince a fan base that, okay, yeah, he's not putting it in the back of the net, but it's not like he's dogging it out there. He's not doing it. I don't see that. Do you?
No, he's certainly not. And I would actually classify him as the best forward we have on the roster. If anybody needs to go, it's like one or even two of the other guys behind him. I would put Corey Burke in the.
We can't put Burke in the game for 90 minutes,
and he comes on for 5 minutes.
The fans here.
Just put Corey Burke on Red Bull 2 and see if he can regain his scoring touch. But as far as Van Zier, he's the best we have
Put him
now.
in Red Bull too, he'll quit.
Yeah.
Right then
Well,
and there. He'll just drop off his uniform and walk off, or wherever the hell he's going to walk off from.
If Van Zier is healthy, he's got to be first choice. Regardless. Okay. He helped out with an assist. It's too bad that you get him 1-on-1 against the keeper and he can't score. But what are you gonna do? Okay, I tell you what you could do. This organization can buy somebody who can stick him in, Garry.
Well,
okay.
Forwards are not forwards. They're not cheap. Okay, and quality forwards, i.e., impact. An impact signing forward. They're even harder to find.
I don't know if you're familiar with the English leagues, but there's Premier League, Championship,
I know.
League One, League Two.
I am. I also mentioned USL. There's a couple of forwards I'm seeing every week.
What I'm saying to you,
lightening up, and I'm saying if you can't get anybody from, obviously we don't have scouts in South America, from what I'm told. Okay. Because there's a whole bunch of forwards on there dying to get in the MLS, but then you got to deal with their skeevy scouts. Okay, you're sticking over in you're sticking over in Germany and Europe and everything else. And if you can't find anybody, there's a whole bunch of dudes in USL that can be had for a song, a nice little transfer, a nice little loan. Hey, let me borrow your forward here for 5 seconds. And if he's going to start working for an MLS contract, you're damn skippy. He's going to start, hey, I got a chance to start for a Major League Soccer team. I'm going to do what I got to do. That's all I'm saying.
Right, yeah. But, Garry, what I was getting at is, like, we don't need to look for somebody, like, in the top league, man, Premier League. You can look for somebody in a league below that. Like, let's say, who's banging goals in this league over here? We can get somebody like that, okay? Bradley Wright Phillips was like in the Championship. He was banging goals for Charlton Athletic in South London.
Right?
Yeah, come on.
Charlton, right. And Charlton Atletic's not a scrub squad, not by a long shot.
Right.
Okay. Huh?
He was in League One when we bought him over.
Yeah. So he started out slow. And look, and now his number is down in the rafters. So, there you go.
The guy that we truly targeted is now an English is on the national team. Ivan Toney is the guy that they were really looking at. They had the eyes on him. They were about to get him.
He's not going anywhere. He's not coming to MLS. I promise you that.
No, that was 3 years
Ivan Toney.
Yeah, Ivan Toney.
I would love to have him here. Yeah, Ivan Toney, but he's no.
Years ago, he was in the third division team. He was in a League One team.
Right.
Now look where he's at. 3 years later, look where he's at.
He's in the Premiership. You try to pry him from there? Nah.
Now, but 3 years ago, we took a shot at him, but that went up in smoke. But it's okay. We'll find somebody else.
Well, there are from what I'm hearing, they have a couple of targets that they're looking at. I mean, there's looking at, and then there's getting them in. But it's very hard for fans to, unfortunately, get very excited about the prospect of this team's chances in the playoffs, where it's a noticeable radio silence, where team after team after team is signing guys up for the stretch run. Noticeably, LA, LAFC, and so on. And the Red Bulls have been, quiet. What did Anthony Merced said about the Red Bulls? They're notoriously German. So I'm hoping that maybe they can be a little bit more Americanized, because you look at the team and it's pretty good where they are right now. Hey, sitting in fourth place in comparison to where they were last season, okay, it's not too shabby. But we're not talking about the regular season, are we, boys? We're talking about the playoffs. And they want something more than just a cameo appearance where they show up in the first round and then disappear by round 2. That's something that, that has to be broken more than anything else. Speaking of streaks that need to be broken, we still have a home undefeated streak. And the team that's coming into the Cathedral just might be able to do it because they're certainly not afraid of coming into Jersey and causing problems. This is turning out to be a very pivotal week for the Red Bulls. First, we got Montreal, and then we got the heavyweight fight that is FC Cincinnati on Saturday. And one man is going to break it down succinctly as he's taking you both, all y'all, to school. That is Nick Lianos. But first, final scores of Week 26 of Major League Soccer. See you back here in 30 seconds. Okay, so let's talk about the first team that's going to wind up here in Red Bull Arena, and that is, of course, Club de Foot Montreal. The last time we faced these guys, y'all remember the first, you remember the team that we had the first 45 minutes up in Stage Saputo, a place where it was a, you know, house of horrors where we haven't won a single game there since
We won one game in the last 6 years up there.
Yeah, once in 6 years. So however, we were able to do something we haven't done in a long time, and that was walk away with a point. So they came back and won that game 2-2. So now this is the home leg of the journey. Nick, she's all yours. Tell the good folks what they're going to be expecting if they show up in Red Bull Arena, other than Star Wars night, over in Red Bull Arena. Go ahead, my man.
Montreal's in 10th place right now, sitting back there. Since we last played them, they're 2-2-1. Two home victories, two road losses. They're led by, right now, Ibrahim. I can't pronounce the first name. Sunil.
Sunil Steele. A guy we really need to keep off the scoreboard. Honestly, he killed us last time.
He's got 6 goals. He leads the team. Their leading assist guy is Ariel Lassiter, who's got 6 assists, who's also joined by the 2 wingbacks, Raheem Edwards and Ruan, who both have 4 assists and 6 assists coming in the wingback position. So they play a 5-man back line with guys going forward. And we saw it in Montreal. Their wingbacks just kept flying down the sideline, running at Neelis, Ellie, and Dylan. They were just coming right at them all the time. And on the bench, you still have that pesky little midget, Joseph Martinez, who's still there. He loves to torture us, and he's still there. They're a bad road team. They're 2-7-3 on the road. They're a horrendous team on the road. They're decent at home. Last game they played was against Atlanta. They won 1-0. They had a man advantage for 35 minutes. The score was only 1-0 because Guzan kept them in it to pretty much save them from getting a 6-0 disaster. They love coming to Red Bull Arena, Montreal. They've done well here. They've won in 2021, 2022. So they've done well over here. So when you look at Montreal, they're speedy. They love to run the flanks, and they don't be surprised with what they can do. We took them. I don't know if we took them for granted, but that first half was a disaster. Their problem is their back line. Their back line is pretty. Some would say subpar, to say the best. They just brought in a new signing from England. They're supposed to be here at the end of the transfer window. After the tournament, they just brought him in to help the back line. But that's where they're truly lacking, is in their back line. So that's what
minus 14 goal difference. I mean, ouch. I mean, you don't win many games. You don't win many games with that stat line, and then we're having problems scoring ourselves. So, it's a.
We're 4-1 losses in Colorado and 2-0 here at Citi Field. So they're going to give them up. We just got to take advantage.
Just have to take advantage.
Yes.
So, okay, Miguel, based on what you just heard, this is one of those matches where, on paper, I hate using that phrase, on paper, they should beat Montreal. But something tells me that this is going to be a wild night, Wednesday night.
You know what? I think they should have enough to take care of Montreal at home. They were, to me, they weren't impressive in that last game, which was played up in Montreal. So I'm going to predict a victory, Gary. Okay. I almost never predict a victory, but I'm predicting a victory this time. Okay. Thank you very much.
You're in second place, by the way, as far as that I'm concerned. You're right behind Miguel. You're right behind. You're right behind Carlos, by the way, by a point. By the way, the question I have for the both of you and everybody who is listening in on the live, on the live feed right now, what is it about this team that you're facing squads that are below them in the table? Why did it get, you figure for a team as good as the Red Bulls on fourth place, they should be able to take care of business for a team that's in 10th place, but that's never the case. It's always have to be somewhat dramatic. Is it because, and now they're going to be playing at home where I'm sure they're aware of the streak, okay, of keeping it undefeated. Is that going to trip them up somewhat, or they're just going to just say, okay, it's just another guy we got to slay? Miguel, you first.
I mean, could it be a trap game, Gary? They're always up for a loss in a trap game. I think about that game last year. Like it was like the Chicago Fire was in last place,
right?
And like late in the season, and they came here and they won. They like 1-0, I think it was. Like why do they play down to teams who are like very low in the standings? I don't know. Okay.
It could be one or two things. Either, it's a mental thing, or they're just not as good as we think they are, despite the standings. Nick, what's your thoughts on that?
Well, we've seen them lay an egg too in that first half against DC. That was good. That was a combination of injuries, suspensions, people away. Actually, in an 8 to control in midfield when he's got 100 minutes under his belt. I don't know what we can do at this point, but there's a lot of things going on. Remember, most of our team is 21. We got to look at that. We got to look at that squad part of the thing. Besides Sean Nealis, who's 25.
Yeah.
Who's the elder statesman now? Elder statesman on the team?
Ryan Mira.
Carlos Coronel. Yeah. But these are I'm talking about the starting 11.
Okay, yeah. Coronel.
Coronel, yeah. I guess Kyle now he's going to be starting with John Tolkien away for the U.S. International Olympic team. Sorry, but there's a combination. These are kids at 21. It's a learning curve. They got to know to be up every game. That's something that comes along with playing 24/7, playing on the field a lot, in the league play, knowing what this league's all about. And a lot of them are still new, still trying to figure it out. That has a lot to do with it as well.
Okay. Now on Saturday, after they get done with them, this is shaping up to be a heavyweight fight because we know FC Cincinnati. This is becoming quickly a very budding rivalry between these two sides. When I say the fan base has still haven't gotten over the fact that we beat them in the U.S. Open Cup semifinal years ago, they captured the imagination of every soccer fan out there, and that's when there was definitely one of the glory days of U.S. Open Cup, and we ruined it. With the coach, the coach was. The coach was Jesse Marsh, and brought them basically to a final, which we lost. Okay, but they still haven't gotten over it, and since then they've had heated encounters. Now, the one guy that they drew their ire to, okay, Mr. Amaya, is no longer with us. So, Nick, this is where you come in, and the tale of the tape of these two teams.
Oh boy, FC Cincinnati, number 1 overall in the league, 48 points. They just slayed the Dragon too. 2 weeks ago, they unloaded on Miami, 6-1. They didn't go back to anything. Juliano Acosta, 11 goals, 17 assists.
He's already got an MVP season.
That's an MVP.
Wow, 17 assists,
11 goals, 17 assists. Oh my God. They were struggling to score goals early when the first time we played them around. Kubo's got 9. They brought in this kid, Kevin Kelsey. He's got 5 and 13 games already for them. Luca Orellana, the second pivot that they run. 5 goals, 6 assists. Okay, this team is deep. They're going to score. They have a back line. Even though Miazga is out for the year for them, they still have DeAndre Yedlin. Miles Robinson is still there. I don't know how he's going to leave for the U.S. Olympic team, but he's still going to play for them until Saturday. I don't know how Tolkien left, but he's still there. They love coming to Red Bull Arena. There's 3 wins and 4 draws in the last 7 games here, knocking us out of the playoffs 3 times. So 2 cup wins. I'm sorry, 2 playoff wins and 1 U.S. Open Cup win to throw us out of this tournament. So they're going to get up for us. They're definitely going to have fun with us. The fan base, the Bailey and all those guys over there, who are they going to be picking on now since Mike still didn't say bye to you guys? Get over it. He said bye to us. I don't know what else to say. Can we beat them? We beat them in Cincinnati 2 straight years in Cincinnati. Can we beat them here? That is, as I said, 7 games straight we haven't beaten them here. Here's the killer. Cincinnati's record on the road: 9 wins, 1 loss, 1 tie. This year.
Wow.
Hello. I think they get up for the road games. Well, there are 6 wins and 4 losses at home, 9 wins on the road. They're number 1. They want to make. They're going to prove it. They're going to prove it on us. They have every opportunity, and they definitely still remember this, and they love to take it out on us.
Let me ask you this: Are they playing midweek at Cincinnati?
They are playing midweek.
Okay, so there you go.
They're going to be tired, but so are we. And this guy.
No, we're playing. Yeah. Right. If we were playing midweek and they weren't, I would just that's it. They're going to win.
Remember they had the guy Pinza who got into a fight, didn't do any scoring for them. Yeah, Kubo came in and started scoring, started coming in off the bench. He's got 9 goals.
Wow.
They score. Everybody scores.
And then when you have the field general that is Lucho Acosta dishing balls left and right, that's why he has 17 assists. Okay, it's for a player like him, it's got to be one hell of a luxury that you can even pass to a forward, and they know what to do with it.
Yeah, that's why they just brought in. They just brought in some guy for Kevin Kelsey. 13 games already. The new DP is 19 years old. He's got 5 goals. 13 games. Okay, that's great.
Garry.
Their last game they played at home against.
All right, tell me some good news, Nick.
They lost to Charlotte. They lost to Charlotte 3-1.
Okay.
They gave up 2 goals quickly in the first 25 minutes. They brought one back. They had a chance to tie in the 60th minute range, and Costa got his PK saved, and then they gave up another one on a free kick to lose 3-1, and they lost Miles Robinson on a red card there. So, Robinson is going to be missing the midweek game. I think it's against Chicago. I forget who they're playing, but he'll be back for us. So you got DeAndre Yedlin, Robinson in their back line with these 7 guys that love to run around and score against us. So who's going to take out Costa's kneecaps? Somebody volunteer. Somebody volunteer.
I mean, they have the type of team that's something that I've been pleading Red Bulls would kind of build on. They have a deep bench they have a deep team from bench to pitch. And the guys off that bench are MLS veterans. Okay. They certainly know what to do when it's all switched on and stuff. It's maddening to me where I understand you want to trot out the kids and their young legs are going to be, doing what they need to do. But against a squad like Cincinnati, they're hungry for a championship. Okay. They remember how close they came, and remember we used to make fun of them and how, what is it with them in 2-0 it leads to 2-0 in the playoffs, and then the next thing you know they got bounced out. But if you're a soccer fan in Ohio, you're feeling good. You got Cincinnati ruling the roost. You got Columbus coming on strong. Okay, they just slain LAFC. Okay.
It was 5-1.
5-1. Gave them the 5. What the 5 fingers say to the face? Slap. I mean, that's basically what they did. Yeah. Okay. gave 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 those guys a black eye, literally. Okay. Meanwhile, here in Harrison, we have the little engine that could. I think this is going to be I think this is going to be an older game like the others. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think it's going to be a tight,
This is gonna be tight.
tense. It's going to be down to the wire type. It's going to it's going to come to a bad call. It's going to come to a call, a foul, or something, a free kick. It's going to be a game where everyone is going to watch and everyone's going to enjoy. I mean, if you're a non-soccer fan, this is going to be fun for you. For the Red Bull fans, yeah, you might want to bring a bottle of Malox because it's just going to be one of those matches where it's going to get nuts.
But the only one thing I put on the good news is this was Van Zier's best game against them on the year. He had an assist and a goal against them, and he did score a nice clean finish on his one semi breakaway. He stopped the ball, came back, and slided it right through the goalie's legs. We got that out of him. That was his best game of the year. He got a goal, and he assisted on a Myers goal. Meyer just basically said the FU to the Bailey after he scored that game,
Yeah.
which was great. But listen, they're the they won the supporter shit last year. They are what they are. They're the number one team for a reason. They're deep, they're talented, and their goalie is back. We didn't place their number one goalie. Now we got to face the number one goalie. Hello.
You're gonna have a hard
Yeah,
time
Garry,
getting past him.
Gary,
So please.
I'm going to predict a loss right now against FC Cincinnati.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
loss.
Salentano's back for them.
Salentano's back for them. I mean, if there's going to be one team that's going to break the streak, it might as well be FC Cincinnati, right? Just get that over. Get that over with. The one thing I like about this team is that you notice that they haven't had a losing streak this year with these guys. One and done, one loss, and then next thing you know, it's either a draw or a win with these guys. So their mental fortitude, as far as winning games and stuff like that, is we just lost Miguel. Is kind of good. As far as that's concerned. We see how they have a habit of playing down to, teams below in the table. Could it be possible if they're able to bring it to step it up against the team, against who's the team that's at the top of the table?
We've played Cincinnati well. We fight with them. I think they bring out the best in us too. They love to fight. Somehow in the middle, this game's gonna be won in the middle. And that's where it's a place where we actually are pretty good. Sean Nealis has been doing pretty well this year. Noah's been doing pretty well this year. I think we can win. Not win. I think we can slow this team down to make this a fight. If we make this a fight, anything can happen. Every game we've played against them is a 2-1 game. And that's what we keep seeing, 2-1.
Right. Right. It's going to be tight. There's going to be some yellows. It might be a red. I mean, it's going to be a brawl. That's why I said this is not going to be a pedestrian, soccer game. This is going to be a knife fight between these two teams. There is no love for one another. They really don't. I mean, is it fair to say, Miguel, this is becoming can we say that this is officially a rivalry now?
Well, yeah, I would say that it is an actual rivalry, and it definitely dates back to when we came back to snatch that Open Cup final from them.
They still haven't gotten over it. And they still haven't gotten. I've talked to FC Cincinnati fans.
Greatest,
they still,
man.
I mean, it's like we went in there and just spoiled everything for them, and then that was just the the shot across the bow, and they've been trying to kill us ever since.
I'm looking at all our matchups against them. Besides the 3-0 beatdown in the first game of the playoffs, 2-1, 2-1, 2-1, 1-1, 1-1, 1-1, 1-0, 1-0. These are fights. These ain't soccer games. These are fights. This is what you saw in the Copa America. This is going to be the same exact thing. There's going to be a fight. We're going to be fouling them. They're going to be fouling us. We're going to have to bring our game up a
Costa's
little
going to
bit.
be crying to the ref. We're going to be crying to the ref. I mean, it's just going to be it's going to be a pitched battle right there. And you're right. The
I
game
just
is going to be won or lost. You know, the game is going to be won or lost in the midfield. and here's why I think, Nick, Miguel, there's a problem. The question I have to ask is Edelman, Gengar, and the rest of those boys, are they up for it? I'm sure they are. But when you're talking about Yaya Kubo and all those guys trying to contain that crew, I don't know. I mean, the question I have to ask is, are they going to be just as up for it for Cincinnati as they're going to be up for it against, well, Montreal? Montreal's coming in to kill your undefeated season. If you lose that game, it's no big loss. It's just your first loss at home, versus 4 losses, over the season. So, we have to pick. The truth is that we have to pick up 6 points here, okay, to keep up. To keep in pace with the guys above us. Because if you take a look at the standings right now, those teams chasing us, they ain't that far behind. If I'm looking at it now, New York City is 36 points. Charlotte, 35. Orlando, 30. Okay? Any one of those teams can catch up to us, okay, within a win or so. NYCFC, 1 win, they're above us. Okay? They'll take over the 4th spot. And to me, they're a much better 4th place team than we are, honestly. Okay? But good teams win at home. For every game, and I asked the coach, for every game you guys play at home, the stakes get higher. I mean, is the team aware of this? Because if you still have that undefeated streak going against a team like maybe Montreal, maybe Cincinnati, okay, you can't afford a loss, but at the same time, you want to stay within the hunt of getting a home, stay within the top 4. But then again, we never expected them to get this far. We never expected them to be winding up, top 4. We expect them to be top 3, but top 4? I don't know, Miguel. I mean, I asked you this before, and it bears repeating. I mean, we're sad, we're happy where they are right now, but do you feel that it should be more than this? They need help in that area. Because you figure that they're there despite the call-ups, despite the injuries, despite
Right.
the in some cases the lackadaisical performances. Coach even said that. He said we need to perform better, need to have complete matches. But yet, if you look at the standings, Miguel, there they are, in 4th in the East.
Right. But now the problem being is that we've lost Emil Forsberg for who knows how long.
Until next month.
Right. Yeah,
and next month.
Yeah, and then we just lost. I mean, what could have been our best player in Frankie Amaya, okay? And we've not replaced him with somebody of that caliber, okay? So, yeah, we might be a little bit too young in those key positions, okay? So we've done well, Garry, but now we're in a bit of a bind as the talent that was there is no longer there.
Okay, bottom line for me, Nick, do you agree with Miguel as far as the talent level? And I mean, and what I'm saying is, in compared to pretty much the rest of the league. I mean, like I said, they're in 4th place right now. Fans are enjoying it, but they're 1 or 2 losses away from disaster. It seems they're playing on the razor's edge every time we see this squad. It's like, okay, we want them to do well, but they don't do enough. Am I fair making that assessment?
Yeah, how many points have we dropped on games that we should have had? That's what I think we're.
There you go.
I think we're at 6 games that we should have had W's on that we got away draws only, or that's on us. That's on us, and that's a talent level thing. And it comes down to
so what you're saying is a mature team would not we'll find a way to win those games.
Yeah, because we got to get the goals when you need them, and we had them. Game in Philly, it should have been a win. Elias Manuel, hello, come on, that's a tap in. That's a tap in. I'm sorry, that ball was on a platter, and the goalie was asleep at the wheel, and Genjar put that right there. All you have to do was tap it in. You tapped it wide.
Hot, humid, no wind whatsoever. I was there. I'm not. I'm not using that as an excuse, but it was a difficult. It was a difficult game in the snake pit.
You have the Nashville game there. Okay, the first one, the post wasn't your friend. The second one, come on, these are games that you drop. You drop points. These are if we have half those games, out of the 6 games that we should have had, instead of draws, we have points. Say we just get half. That's another 8 points. I think we're in the top 3 spot.
Yeah. I mean, I think what a lot of folks, we spoke to in the group, they're very happy of what things are going on as far as the team is concerned. But they want to see more. We'll see what happens in this transfer window to see if they're serious about winning a championship this year, or this is yet another rebuilding year that we've been hearing for the last 5 years. And I don't think the fans are going to be very.
Oh, no one's going to be happy about that.
No one's going to be happy about that whatsoever. They want to be able to say that this is a championship season and say it with a straight face, and not have Groundhog Day every season where we're at this position or worse, and we're trying to pick up crumbs along the way.
You should have. So if you didn't say those magic words, we're investing. You guys said it. We didn't say a word. You guys said it. You guys said it. Now you have to deliver it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. All right. Bold predictions, gentlemen. All right, we're going to start off with CF Montreal. Nick, what are you seeing as the final score?
2-0 us. I'm going
2-0. Despite that, 2-0 us.
I think Montreal's going to lay an egg in. I know they had the best game of the year against Atlanta. Atlanta's nothing. They lost all their players. They lost their best striker, their best midfielder, and their most talented kid. All got sold off. You beat Atlanta.
Despite all those people not there, they're still a quality team. I mean,
Atlanta's
they're
bad.
not scrubs. I mean,
I think we're winning 2-0. Does Vanzier get the goal? I go with
Vanzier.
I go with Manuel, and Harper continues if he's okay. If I think it was a cramps. Will anybody know how he came off?
He's fine. From what we what we was told during the media availability, he is available for selection. So he might be in the starting lineup, or he might be coming off the bench, but he's fine. Miguel, you said it was a loss.
No. I said versus CF Montreal, we're going to win.
You're gonna win. So what's your final score?
1-0 or 2-0. I'll go with 2-0. Okay.
2-0. Okay. Yeah. Win. It's going to be another draw.
Okay.
I'm looking. Okay, and this is how I'm going to phrase this. I'm going to look at the first 15 minutes of this match. If the Red Bulls come out flying like gangbusters, like the coach wants them to be, we got these guys. Okay, put a lot of pressure on them on the ball defensively. Don't give up very much. Don't offensively. Don't give up too much defensively. You're able to keep Tuna still quiet. Not like you did back up stage Saputo, where you somehow lost track of him. He was able to get behind you and able to score. If you get able to, if you're able to keep those guys quiet, you might be able to walk in the first 15 minutes. They are defensively, they're terrible. Seriously, they really are. They're a very terrible club defensively. So the pressure has to be kept up. You're going to be able to get a goal too. So I'm going to say 3-1 New York. Okay. Hopefully, I want to win. Fans have been waiting for a win at home for quite some time. I'm going to say 3-1. For FC Cincinnati, I'm feeling a draw on this one. This is going to be one of those South American knife fights that you see where both teams are going to be trading punches. Okay, Red Bulls are gonna, they're gonna dish them out. They're also gonna take a few, but we're talking about FC Cincinnati, which is basically right now the class of the league, and if they can hold them to a 2-2 draw, that's a win. Okay, but I'm hope I'm right. I hope I'm wrong in one sense that we're able to beat them at home, but we'll see. If it's a 2-2 draw, I'll be happy. Nick,
Uh,
F.
hmm, I'm gonna go 1-1 draw.
You're saying a draw as well.
I'm saying a draw as well.
Okay, what's the one thing you're going to be? What's the one thing that you're going to be looking in that match that would determine that particular pronunciation?
How they go around and keeping Acosta on. Do they go with the 3 men back? Do they go back to the 5, or they
Oh,
go
Lord,
back?
I hope not.
Or they go back to the? They
You
go
don't
back.
want to give that man way too much space to work with. You really don't. I mean,
I don't mind if you. I don't mind if they even club. Go to like what Jesse used to do. 4-5-1. Just club up that whole midfield. Just just keep pounding. Somebody just just follow him all the way around. Just make his life miserable. That's what I'm looking for. I want somebody just to just shadow him all the way around. He's 5'2" for crying out loud. We can take advantage of him.
enough with the height jokes.
Well, I'm tired of seeing Martinez and his what he did to us and from Atlanta and all those years. I'm tired of seeing those guys. So
Hey.
that's why. So I'm
Short
going
guys,
with one
hey,
draw. And
short guys can do damage, man. I've seen enough. I've seen enough.
Tom
I've seen
again.
enough Italian soccer and South American soccer to see guys actually do damage to these guys. Um, will we have enough fans just to crash the gates?
No. There's going to be
I doubt that. I doubt that, Tom.
there's going to be plenty of seats available. Okay, thanks.
Miguel, your prediction for FC Cincinnati.
Yeah, well, while I agree with Nick that the key to the game is going to be keeping Acosta in check, okay, I think we will not be able to do that, and he's going to have his way, and we're going to lose.
Okay.
I'm going with a 3-1 prediction, but the bottom line, I think they're just going to be too good for us, and we're gonna lose. So, but 3 points out of 6. It's not a bad haul. Okay.
3 points out of 6 is not a bad haul.
Yeah. And as a matter of fact, Garry, in regards to what you said earlier, that this needs to be a 6-point week. I mean, you could say that if the two teams come. No, but you could say that when two teams that are coming in or we are going out to face them, if they're not that good, okay? But that's not FC Cincinnati, okay? They're top of the league, mate, okay? So it is what it is. I think we're in for a loss.
Okay. As we said before, there's not much to talk about in the NWSL or, of course, in the MLS Next Pro 2 circuit. New York Red Bulls will be at home versus Orlando City B, or as people like to refer to them as OCB. Every time I hear that, it's like thinking OCD. OCB. They will be playing on Sunday. Kickoff is at 7 o'clock. The Gotham girls will be playing until I believe this is May 25th. It's going to be a while before they kick off. So not much to do. After this stretch, it's what they call Leagues Cup. They'll be they'll take a break from the MLS side from us. And then we'll get ready to take on some Mexican sides. But we're going to take on one Mexican side. Actually, we got Toronto on Saturday. That's going to be interesting for that. That's for our next, our
Play the
next,
kids.
Huh?
Play the kids during this Leagues Cup.
I mean, I don't. I mean, bring up some of the New York, bring up some of the RB2 kids. Let them get some trigger time and stuff like that. We'll see what happens. One thing I forgot to mention, guys, and it's I don't want to spoil the fun because after all, as we always say, blow that horn, and for reason for that, it's because NYCFC to that NYCFC, they lost. Okay, no, they were tied 0-0. We got a point. So as they say, we got a goal. They got none. So, although two teams ended with 1 point, we got one goal, and then of course that's the goal differential rule. So there go. We can actually blow that horn because we won the weekend. So please do so. There you go. And it's going to be a while since we did that. So, so we got 2 games this week, Wednesday and Saturday. This is going to be part of a, they got 1 game out the way. This was Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday. Yikes. I don't even know how Major League Soccer does this. But I mean, I thought that they were really not going to do this type of crap, but there you go. So I hope you guys can able to make it after work. If not, show up on Saturday because that's going to be the main event right there. You're talking about 2 teams that are definitely want to get in on the top of the direction. You're talking about FC Cincinnati, which is the class of the league, and they're looking to put a digit next to the loss column at the Cathedral. Will the Red Bulls able to step up and take care of business? We shall see. So that's it for now. So, as always, we want to thank thank everyone for showing up this last hour. Don't forget, if you missed the live show, it will be online tomorrow. The very next day, it'll be uploaded to our Goals TV YouTube channel, which is happening right now. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'd like to see you guys there. And, of course, Spotify.com for all your listening and viewing pleasure. Next week, the birthday boy returns. And, of course, that was Mark Coates. And, of course, Lon Ray Badmus will be with us is for that next show. We're going to have our special guest, which we named later. Whew, it's a little warm here. That's because I had to shut down the air conditioning so you guys can be able to hear me. So we want to thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you guys next week. For Nicholas Lianos, once again, my good sir, thank you so much for stopping by. And, of course, filling in for Carlos. I'll yell at him yet later. And, of course, the one and only Miguel Nunes. Solace to you and Colombia, my friend. Oh, yeah. Hey,
This is up there.
Premier League starting soon. What's it? Next month, right?
They started August, yeah.
Yeah, so in August, next month, right?
Yeah.
So we get to do this all over again. Folks, thanks so much for joining us. We will see you all next week. Until then, good night and goodbye for now.